Thank you so much for watching Landumc Goes There. Please subscribe and hit the like button and the bell notification button. The Lady in Cement is a 1968 American mystery crime drama directed by Gordon Douglas, and it's based on the 1961 novel The Lady in Cement by Marvin Albert. The film stars Frank Sinatra, Raquel Welch, Dan Blocker, Richard Conte, Martin Gable, Lainie Kazan, and Pat Henry. This is a sequel to a 1967 film that starred Frank Sinatra too, called Tony Rome, which is the character that he plays in this film. The storyline for the project goes that while diving off the Miami coast, trying to find sunken gold, private investigator Tony Rome discovers a dead woman with her feet encased in cement at the bottom of the ocean. He reports this to a guy with the police department there that he knows, named Lieutenant Dave Santini, and thinks there's nothing more to this incident other than that, until he meets Waldo Gronsky, who hires him to find a missing woman, Sandra Lomax. Gronsky has little money, so he allows Rome to pawn his watch to retain his services. Eventually, Gronsky admits that he just got out of prison because Sandra Lomax identified him as the perpetrator of a crime, which is why he hired Rome to find her. After investigating the local hotspots and picking up a few names, Rome soon comes across Kit Forrest, whose party Sandra Lomax was supposed to have attended. In talking to Forrest, this raises the eye of racketeer Al Munger, a supposedly reformed gangster who looks after Kit's interest. Munger, his son, and some other goons warn Rome to stay off the case. Later, Rome is able to identify Lomax as the lady in the cement, off an artist who used her as a model. As he gets closer to solving the case, he eventually becomes a suspect and has to evade the capture by Lieutenant Santini. Eventually, Munger is revealed to be a figurehead, and his son is the real muscle in the organization. He reveals that he killed Sandra and everyone that got in his way. He is about to kill Kit when Gronsky overpowers him. They then call Santini, and the film closes with Kit and Tony together on his boat. Following the success of the original movie, Tony Rome, Aaron Rosenberg hired Marvin Albert to adapt Lady in Cement for Sinatra. Then Raquel Welch's casting was announced in June of 1967. Sammy Davis Jr. was to have appeared in the film as a charter boat captain. Sinatra ended up falling ill, and the filming was then postponed for 4 weeks. This caused Sammy Davis to be replaced by Pat Henry in the final film. Now stick around with me till the end, because there's really 2 strange things that happen to 2 of the main characters in this film. And I'll disclose that in just a little bit after we get through the guts of the production. Dan Blocker was given time away from the hit show Bonanza to play his part in the movie. Later on, after filming had been completed, it's said that Raquel Welch didn't realize her character was an alcoholic. While watching the film, she started thinking, what the heck is going on with her? What's my character doing? And then she had an epiphany. Oh, she's an alcoholic. And she wondered how in the world she could have missed this, because some of the lines in it point directly to that. She felt like that she was probably just so enamored with Frank Sinatra that she wasn't thinking properly. She felt like he was completely hypnotic. As a matter of fact, during filming, Frank Sinatra was also performing at the Fontainebleau in Miami over a 6-week period while this production was being done. Welch went on to watch him one night, and she found that experience so inspiring she determined to continue to perform to live audiences in her own career. In one part in the film, you hear Frank Sinatra say that he knew a girl who used to date bullfighters. This is a reference to his ex-wife, Ava Gardner's affair with a matador while filming The Barefoot Contessa from 1954 while she was in Spain, something that Frank Sinatra had trouble with. And also when Sinatra's character walks into the room in the massage parlor where Waldo Gronsky is, that character being played by Dan Blocker, he's watching Bonanza, which is what Dan Blocker played in as he played Hoss Cartwright. The trauma of divorcing his young wife, Mia Farrow, hit Frank Sinatra pretty hard in 1968 while filming this movie. And in order to escape that, he filmed the movie during the day and performed on stage at night. But he refused to do more than one take of each scene, and he was known for ripping out handfuls of the script to save time. He allegedly threatened director Gordon Douglas, who basically was on the film simply to accommodate him. He had him shift his schedule so his scenes would only be shot at a point to where he would never have to come to work before noon. All the sets were pre-lit, and his stand-in had plotted every move, so by the time Sinatra arrived, he could complete action on that set and proceed on to the next without delay. Now, one of the characters in the film is a girl that Sinatra meets in a lounge. She's played by Lainie Kazan. Just a few years back, she was arrested for shoplifting on Christmas Eve. It said she was notorious for doing this. She would fill up her basket at the grocery store and walk towards the checkout line and then make a quick exit without paying for anything. Eventually, they caught her with $180 worth of unpaid groceries. Everything from cleaning supplies to a rotisserie chicken, Jell-O, and uncured pepperoni. Now, Frank Sinatra caused some problems on the set. Not actually on the set, but while filming was going on. One night he was so mad at the scriptwriter, he ripped out a fire axe from the hotel he was staying in and chopped the door to his room apart, costing several $100s to repair. And then there was a prostitute who complained that Sinatra and his pals had not treated her quite right. She says that she was hired for an all-night gig with Sinatra. At the end of this, Sinatra invited her to stay for breakfast, and he called for an order of ham and eggs, which he then ate off her bare chest with a knife and fork. She threatened to sue 20th Century Fox because of this, but the studio quickly settled this out of court and hushed it up. If you like Private Eye movies and Sinatra movies, this might be the ticket for you. I really enjoyed it. It's not a great film, but it's still a really fun watch. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll continue to chase the classics.